So yeah, GFriend disbanded to the surprise, I think, of the entirety of the K-pop community. And honestly, I don't know why they did that. Now, we're gonna talk about it in this video. I don't want it to be too long, but on May 18th, it was reported that the entirety of the six members decided to not renew the contract with Source Music, and they'll be going their separate ways. And just released a basic statement saying, we created boundaries, blah blah blah, classic bullshit. And then GFriend addressed this bad man with their own little letters that they wrote and whatnot, right? My issue with all of this is it seems like nobody really cares about it, and it seems that people are actually making it seem like it's GFriend's fault, and that's what really bothers me in this situation. Because let's use the GOT7 situation, right? When GOT7 announced they're gonna leave JYP, people said, well, they've been mistreated, they're one of the reasons why the company was this big, and that's true, especially at the time. And at the same time, why would JYP not give them what they want at a contractual level? If they stay under your label, you just gain from them. There's a huge reason why your sales tend to be high, your streams, they have a very, very loyal fan base, they're all very active in different fields of like the entertainment world. You gain from them being in your industry, in your label. You don't get anything from you letting them go. And we said, okay, it's JYP's fault, and I thought for the most part that is probably true. But when it comes to GFriend, I've actually heard the contrary. They should have never left Source because they just got acquired by Hype, and they would have gotten bigger with Hype. Lana, let me break this to you very quickly, okay? Until this point, no group that has been acquired by another company, especially if they were already a very established and big group, has ever grown to be bigger. For a very simple fact, GFriend is not a new idol group. They're not. They have their own style, they have their own color, they already are pretty active in the industry anyway, musically specifically. You don't need, and they've been active a lot since 2015, 2016. You cannot say, well, them being under Hype will make them bigger. In fact, the two singles, Apple and Mago, show the exact opposite. That nothing really changed. The numbers are pretty much the same. Last year, Source had a terrible year because GFriend is a huge reason why they actually make money also through concerts and festivals and whatever. Therefore, why would not GFriend resign? I mean, GFriend is the reason why even Source is the company that it is today, that it's assigned under High Music, and it's supposed to debut a girl group, in collaboration, I think, with Universal Music or something like that. So they are the reason why this company is even relevant until today. And so the fact that I'm hearing people, other YouTubers say, no, why would they do that? That means they just don't want to be in it anymore and blah blah. Not even talking about the idiot that might be actually getting fucked contractually, which I think this is where I was going anyway, and I think this is where people are missing, which is, why would they leave a company that, again, they've made it what it is, they made it what it is today, and it didn't seem like they were slowing down. Look at the last couple of years, they were constantly promoting, they released music consistently. It wasn't like when FX or SNSD or this group started disbanding 21, even like Sistar, they just disappeared. Like, there was none of that when it came to GFriend. To me, it's simply that Source Music tried to lowball them with a bad contract, which to me it's very simple because there's no reason for them to not to resign the contract if it's good. And this is a case of them trying to get lowballed. Now, the problem I've said this already, I think, even in the past, in some other content in the past that it's not on the internet anymore, which is, I is getting into the risk that having so many acts at the same time is gonna really, really make it hard to actually get the end result that you want from all of them. I think that it was smart for them to add the GFriend and 17 because they are the definition of a solid group. They tour, they have numbers, they have fans, they sell pretty well, they are pretty successful in their own ventures. Therefore, I don't have to really do a lot because their companies already manage them pretty well. Therefore, they already bring me money. I have BTS, I have TXT, and now I have my next girl group that I'm going to debut. So I have a very strong roster, even though I've only created 3 out of the 5 groups. And TXT is not bigger than 17. Until this point, I think they will end up being bigger, obviously, with time. But, they are in that position right now where 17 is doing so much for them, GFriend was doing very well for them, why let them go? I think the only reason why this happened, similar to GOT7, they got offered a bad contract. I assume it was a contract where probably they were not getting good shares, good percentages, probably not good money. And guess what? GFriend is like Beast, right? Formerly Beast, now known as Highlight. They don't need the companies. They are big enough, they can be their own thing and be successful. Now obviously the idea of the GFriend brand is big, of course it is. It's just the perfect name, came at the right time, the fandom name is perfect. But I think the problem is the way Source Music handled it. It's exactly why I was scared, sorry, that Hype was gonna start acquiring all these companies. Because what happens when you have this type of answer from Source Music that says, our regret for causing concern to all fans. We would like to once again thank all fans who expressed their boundless love for GFriend. We are aware of the concerns as well requesting my fans regarding plans of the management of GFriend content following the conclusion of our company's exclusive artist contract. And we're striving to insert and they're just caring about social media and bullshit that nobody cares, right? Like fan event that actually we're supposed to do, the body membership, which is like to support the individual members. So of course there was none of this idea that they were gonna disband. To me, this is a classification of a company that try to fuck a girl group, and because now they're under Hype, you ain't gonna listen to K-pop fans complaining at all. The Hype brand is too big, therefore the media is not gonna really talk about it. If I'm a YouTuber and I know I have connections with other groups in Korea, I don't want to say anything bad about Hype, because it might fuck my relationship with the entire music industry in Korea. I think this plays a big factor. I do not believe that if this was any other company, any other group, people would ever let this get away with it with no sort of even discussion in the community. This is what bothers me the most. The only thing I'm reading is, well, why would they leave the company? I mean, they're under Hype. That just seems stupid. I'm like, so you're not thinking about the contract? But I mean, it was JYP though, and GOT7. No, they leave the contract. Fuck them. Fuck the company. But my point is, why can't you make the same argument for GFriend? All I hope is that they've not gotten fucked over, and if they did, and nobody's talking about it, I think that's pretty bad for the community. What do you think, guys? Do you think that GFriend got fucked by Source Music? Do you think that they just decided to leave because they were tired of being in the cable industry, like some idiots on the internet said about this? Or do you have any other opinion on it? Let me know in the comment section, and see you next time.